And welcome back to the weekly market recap where we go over this week's market while keeping it as simple as possible. Now, over the last 2 weeks, we've been talking about the battle of 6,000, and it finally looks like we see who's the winner between the bulls who want the market to go up and the bears who wants the market to go down. Now, before we talk about the results of that battle, I do want to let you guys know this. I do not have a crystal ball that's going to let you guys know exactly what's going to happen in the world. But what I can do is let you guys know when we're about to hit major levels in the stock market. And that's so important because as soon as we hit those levels, just like I said, the battle of 6,000, magically we get all type of headlines. So it could be war or some major events in the world. So again, that's the power of keeping up to date with the weekly market recap, so you will know exactly what's going to come around the corner. Now let's get straight into the S&P 500 and see exactly what happened this week in the market. If you look at this chart above, you'll see on Monday, after the back and forth strikes between Israel and Iran, the stock market did open up Monday above the battle of 6,000. And then after that, if you look at it, we did go down. But the next major event was Wednesday. Wednesday was such a big deal because Fed Chair Jerome Powell was speaking to finally let us know about interest rate. And if you do remember, I was saying that Federal Chair Jerome Powell and Donald Trump has a battle themselves. Donald Trump wants the interest rate to come down, and Fed Chair Jerome Powell has been steady and has been changing them. So on Wednesday, he did speak to the public and he said exactly what he's been saying. The Fed is going to have a wait and see approach. And with so much going on in the world, you can see why they don't want to bring interest rates down. Because when you bring rates down, it's a real possibility that the inflation can go back up, and that's something that we cannot risk. Now, on Donald Trump's side, the reason why he wants to bring their rates down is because the U.S. government has to refinance $7 trillion worth of debt, and if that interest rate is still high, that means there's more interest on that $7 trillion that the United States will have to pay. So again, it's very tricky where we're at with interest rate. But one of the things Jerome Powell said that was very unexpected, his base case to say inflation will stay up because of all the tariffs on the horizon. Again, when you tariff other countries, usually the people who pay for it are the people like me and you who buy the goods. So they're saying that inflation could stay up, but what he said was growth could be going down. Now that equals stagflation. And honestly, stagflation is one of the worst things that can happen to the American economy. If stagflation does happen, the chance of us going into a recession jumps tremendously. So again, we'll need to see what happens with that. Now, after that major event on Wednesday, the market was closed for Juneteenth on Thursday, and then the market opened back up Friday morning. I want to show you guys specifically this. If you look at this S&P 500, the market did jump above that 6,000 level. It looks like the market was going to go back up. And then as soon as the stock market tried to push up at the open, it sold off, and it sold off tremendously. And if you look at it, we did close the week significantly under that 6,000 level. So again, at that point, the markets was closed for the week. And now the major events happen. If you look at this above, you'll see that President Donald Trump did agree to align with Israel and the United States bombing Iran's nuclear facilities. And that was a huge move because now it looks like the United States are in the war. So again, the stock market is closed right now. So we'll see on Monday morning when the stock market opens if the market is significantly lower or not. But if we look at the crypto markets that are the only markets that are open, it looks like it tells the tale of where the stock market is going to go. If you look at this chart above, you'll see that Bitcoin is down right now under $100,000. So Bitcoin had a nice sell-off when all other markets were open. So again, we need to see what happens on Monday. So right now, it looks like we're just at the beginning of a major war in the Middle East, and now the United States are involved. But it looks like some of the biggest oppositions from other nations, China and Russia, have been siding with Iran and saying that the United States was completely out of line for bombing Iran. So while this battle intensified, make sure you stay up to date with the weekly market so I can let you know exactly what is happening so you can make the best financial decision for you. Again, this is the weekly market recap, and I'll see you soon. Peace.